to my YouTube channel. I thought I'd pop in today because I've got a few makes on the go, and I've finally finished my Bass and Val shawl, which I'll talk a bit about in a moment, and I've got a couple of sewing projects I've finished, so I thought it was nice, as I had a few bits, I'd come over here and have a little chat with you. I've got my cup of tea and my beautiful Julia Smith ceramics mug, which I love. My sister bought me this for my birthday a couple of years ago, and I've seen loads of knitters with them now, so they seem to be really popular. I don't think it's as easy to get one now, but this is one of my favourites. So I'll have a quick sip and then I'll get on with the show. So the first thing I'll chat about is my Bass and Val, because it's definitely too warm to be wearing it today, but I had to show you. It's finally off the needles, after which feels like a really long time. I think I started it around Christmas time. And you know, it's like when you have lots of sort of different projects on the go, sometimes things take a bit longer, but I love this shawl so much. You can see it's super, super long. I love these beautiful stitches. Oh, silly me. I think I was showing you on the wrong side. Look. See, they look even nicer when I'm showing you the right side. This is a really accurate colour representation that you're seeing. It's like a really gorgeous, it's almost like a burnt sort of orange. It's like a rusty, lovely sort of foxy, browny orange. It's beautiful, and it's got such a lovely drape, you can see that. Yeah, it's really, really lovely. It's the Cumbria fingering from the Fibre Company, which is what the pattern was written for. It's by Claire Devine, and it was for their Felgarth 2 collection, I think. And yeah, I really, really love it. I've been sort of wearing it in the evenings when I can, because it is a really, really cosy shawl. It's going to be much better for the autumn. But yeah, I just really wanted to wear it because I love it so much. So you might have seen, I posted on my Instagram a couple of pictures, and the Fibre Company actually shared a blog post where I was talking about my shawl and my colour choices and all those kind of things. So I'll pop a link in the show notes, sort of down below this video. If you want to get the show notes to your email, there'll be a sign up link. I know lots of you have already signed up to that. And then every time I post a video, you'll be notified and get all the details for like patterns and yarn and all the things that I'm mentioning. So you can either sign up for the email, or you can pop over to my website. There'll be a link also down below this video with all the details on my website. I always post the video and all the sort of links and information. So I'm going to take this off now because it's super, super hot, but I'm so glad that I finally had this to show you because I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. And I hope that you like it too. I'd love to see some more of you knitting. I know a few people have said over on my Instagram that they were planning on doing one as well. So it'd be a really nice one to get started now, and then it'd be lovely in the fall to wear something like this. I think it will look really nice. I've got like a nice, I did the Tessuti, what do they call it? I think it's the Berlin jacket, and it's like a really nice simple kind of boiled wool, very kind of simple minimalist coat with pockets, and it's navy, and it will look gorgeous with this shawl when the weather turns a bit cooler. So I'm looking forward to that. And what else shall I show you? While we're talking about shawls, maybe I'll tell you about my next shawl whip I've got in one of my project bags with the little buds on it. I've got the Hipster shawl by Joji Locatelli, and this is another Fibre Company project because I'm knitting it in Fibre Company Luma. I've said before that I do marketing for the Fibre Company, so I'm always lusting after their yarns and like to use lots of their things in my projects when I get a chance. But I'm not sure if it will show on camera, but there's almost like a chevron. Oh, it is kind of picking it up. There's like a really nice chevron detail, and then it's got this lovely open wet panel that will block beautifully, and lots of squishy garter stitch. So this is this is just the first skein. I've got a few more to go. I think it called for 5, but the pattern actually has, it's got like a beautiful fringing all around the bottom. I'll put the link below for the pattern so you can have a look, but it's got this beautiful fringing, so I'm thinking that probably quite a few yards will be taken up in that. But this is the yarn. I'm doing it in the Blanca colourway. You can see it's so gorgeous. I love this. and it's the Fibre Company Luma. It's 50% wool, 25% cotton, 15% linen and 10% silk. So yeah, I'm really excited to have that on the needle. I was like umming and ahhing between so many different shawls because there's some really, really beautiful ones. I love the like really big, cozy, sort of, I used to do like a lot of single skein shawls, and now I found that actually I wear the more like squishy, wrap loads of times around you kind of shawls. So I've got one of those on the go. And of course I have socks, because you always have to have socks. So I'll show you the socks that I've got. They're in like one of my little sock sacks. Got using all the different types of bags today because I've got so many different size projects on the go. So for my socks, I showed you this yarn before. This is the Gregoria Fibres. Got all those lovely speckles. So pretty, and she naturally dyes these skeins. So I've got a sock on the go. I'm doing a really simple 3x1 rib. You see that? Yeah, it's really, really pretty colourway. It's all lovely lilacs, and it's got lots of little blips of different colours and specks of blue, and it's just, yeah, it's looking really nice in this simple pattern. I've just got I did the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which you can see does a really nice slip stitch heel. You don't get any of the holes in the corner or anything like that, which I love. I nearly always do the Fish Lips Kiss heel. I think once you've found a sort of heel that you like, sometimes it's nice to stick with it. So I just pretty much do my socks on autopilot now. So I've got those socks on the go, and I've got another project which this had been a little bit neglected, but I've fallen in love with it again, and it's my Lucinda sweater. This is the Lucinda sweater by Carrie Bostick Hogue, and I'm not sure if you're able to see. So this is actually the front. I haven't finished that, but it has a dip in the front and the back, so you've got this sort of V-neck. So you can see, I think the last time I spoke to you, I think I was still just, maybe I was up to the part B split for the front and the back. I'm not sure, but yeah, I've made really good progress knitting. I had actually finished the front and then I had to frog it because I realised I was doing it really late at night and not reading the pattern properly. So I'd done way too many decreases and I had a couple of extra inches, so I had to frog back. But yeah, it's really, really lovely. This is, again, this is the Fibre Company Luma. It's turning into a bit of a Fibre Company episode, isn't it? I feel like I've got lots of things on the needles with the Fibre Company. This is another Luma project, and this is the Grigio colour. I'll show you that. It's a gorgeous, it's almost like a denim-y blue-grey. It's definitely a grey, but I feel like it leans in certain lights more to blue. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having that finished. So I want to power through and get the front finished, and then it will just be onto the sleeves. So I feel like it will come together quite quickly now. I think I just needed a little bit of headspace for that one, because although it wasn't difficult, it was something where I was having to look at the pattern and figure out what I needed to do, and because there was the front side and the back side, and you join another ball of wool, so you're knitting each side of the V-neck as well. So there was just like a few things I needed to concentrate on when I was starting that section where you were splitting for the front and back, and I'd been so busy, I think I just couldn't do that. So I'd sort of put it on the back burner. Every time I picked it up it seemed a bit too tricky, but this is what it will look like when it's finished. It's a really, really lovely, simple, like really classic. Kind of like to do classic sweaters. Nice neutral colours that go with my wardrobe, just because then I know like all the hours and the money that you invest in the yarn, all those kind of things, it seems more worthwhile. But this is a beautiful book, the Mad Anthology 2. That's where the pattern's from. And I got this from Loop in London. So that's a really, really exciting project to be making some progress on. I hope next time I'll be able to show you, hopefully I'll be on the sleeves. I don't know, I'm powering through it. You know when you get a sort of itch to work on something, this is the one that I'm picking up all the time. and that's in one of my sweater sacks. I told you I was using all the different size bags today because I've got all the different kinds of projects on the go. I've got, while I'm talking about knitting, actually, I'll show you this. Isn't this beautiful? I've got a lovely skein from the Woolly Mammoth from my friend Emma, and it's a BFL mash and blend. It's a fingering weight. You get 400 metres to 100 grams, and it's just, look at those colours. I love that you're really seeing the colours of this today. It's called Heather, and that's just a perfect description for this. And I haven't 100% decided what I want to do with it, but I did think that I've got this Pebble Beach shawl that I knit all the time, and this is a super drapey, it's like silk and camel and all the lovely things in this yarn. It's a really luxury blend from the Kettle Yarn Co. I'll look up and find out exactly which yarn it is. I think it might have been called Westminster. I bought this years ago when they did I think it was called Unwind. They had a festival in Brighton it was quite early on when I was starting to knit, and this was my first shawl that I did. But I reach for this shawl all the time. It's a really, really nice little one skein. Just like sometimes I find the back of my neck gets a bit chilly. You know, when your knits, if they're not... I know you can sort of do short rows, can't you, to bring the back up, but quite a few of my sweaters, they dip quite low at the back, and I often reach for this. So I thought it'd be really nice. It would be a totally different look because this have a lot more structure to it. Wouldn't be as drapey as this Pebble Beach shawl. But yeah, I really thought it would make a nice little one skein shawl that I could grab and have sort of near my desk, and on those chilly mornings, just when I want something just around my neck to make me feel a bit more cosy, I thought this would be perfect. So yeah, that was I don't think I said it's by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade, the Pebble Beach shawl, and this was the free pattern that you got when you went to the festival. So lots of nice memories of this shawl, and it's a lovely summery colour, so I wear this a lot in the summer. So I thought that would be nice to show you, just so you'd get an idea of what I was thinking of with this one. And what else? I could talk about my t-shirt I'm wearing. This is the Lark tee, and I'm pretty sure that I was talking to you about this last time, because I think I just got the fabric at Ray Stitch. And yeah, so I finished my scoop neck tee. It's just a short sleeve scoop neck tee. There's like 3/4 length sleeve, long sleeve version. I think it comes with a V-neck version, boat neck. It's a brilliant pattern. If you want to do any kind of like jersey tops, it's a really, really good investment, because you can... I've sewn a few of the different patterns from that Grain Line Lark tee. The different variations are just really, really classic shapes, so I highly recommend that. And I'm really, really pleased with how this one came out. It's a lovely, like really super soft drapey fabric. And I used, on my machine, I've got this new twin needle, which I'm not sure if it'll pick up on that. If you might just be able to see, I've got like a twin stitch, so it gives it that really, really sort of, I don't know, almost like proper ready to... Oh, hold on, I didn't do the twin on the neck, I just did a single band. The twin is on the sleeve. Let me try that again, shall we? So there we go. Can you see that? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's picking out. So you can see it's got like a twin stitch like you would get on a shop bought classic tee, and it's really, really easy. Just on my sewing machine, it goes into, so it still has a single hole, but it comes down into 2 needles. So I just used a bobbin that I kept on the bobbin winder and my usual reel of thread to thread the two separate strands through the needles, and then you just have your single bobbin thread. And yeah, it gives a really, really nice finish. I also, whenever I do jerseys on my normal sewing machine, I always use a walking foot, which is it a walking foot? I'm not sure. I'll put a link down below. It's I don't think it is called a walking foot. No, maybe it is. I don't know. I think it might be a walking foot. But basically, it helps keep the tension even between the top and the bottom. So that's why I use it in quilting, so that you've got the that sort of thick quilted fabric is moving really evenly through the machine, and it just helps so much when you're doing jerseys because it doesn't stretch the fabric. So that's a really, really good tip actually. I'll definitely link to the kind of foot it is that you'd need to use, because I don't think it's very expensive, and it does mean that you can sew jersey fabric so much more easily if you haven't got an overlocker. I have been using an overlocker to finish my seams, and I would definitely recommend one. If you're on the fence and you do a little bit of sewing, I'd invest in like a really, really basic entry level overlocker if you think you'd like to try your hand at doing knits, because I really, really love it. Actually, I've got another, I can show you my next one. This is also a Grain Line Studio top. This is the Hemlock Tee. You can see it's slightly longer at the back than the front. It's got a nice, really wide kind of, more, I don't think it's quite a classic boat neck, but it's quite a nice scoop. And this is the Hemlock Tee, which is actually a free pattern, and I left the sleeves off, which is something I saw somebody had saved a project on Pinterest with this tee, and it's just, it's a really, really nice, like loose. I've actually cropped it quite a lot, so I think I took about 5 inches, maybe 4 inches off the length, so it would be like a cropped length. But it's a really nice swingy drapey tee in this lightweight jersey, and that's another one. So that was one of the first projects I think I did with my overlocker, just to finish the seam. So that came together so quickly because it's literally just a front and back piece that you sew the seams together, and then all I've done is I've overlocked and then turned each of the hems over and just run a line of stitching. So it's a really, really, really easy one, and it's great if you haven't got a lot of yardage. That's a really good one. And I've got one more thing to show you for sewing. I did the Suki kimono by Helen of Helen's Closet, and this came out really nicely. You can see it's got a lovely drape, and I love the sleeves. It's actually a much longer pattern. This is a hack that she showed you how to do on her blog. So you basically extended the front band, but I love these sleeves. They're really cool. And this just hits me sort of mid-hip, and it looks really nice with jeans. So it's a bit more of like a jacket, I'd say, than how she intended it to be. As I say, it was much more of like a typical kimono. She has in the pattern like a long version and a medium length that you'd wear almost like a robe. And then the hack she did was to make it like for day wear. So she actually has one where she makes it into a wrap dress. But this is the open sort of drapey. You can see it's longer at the back. It's got that really nice scoop. But it's so pretty. And it's really, really nice and delicate in this fabric. I've actually got another fabric that I want to knit, want to sew this up in. It's like a darker, it's like almost like a navy, really, really dark navy with quite a bold floral print in sort of pinks and reds. Because I think maybe this colour isn't so good on me. I think it's like a little bit wishy-washy. But I still really like it, and it was good to try the pattern because this has been like a really nice summer piece actually, especially in England. You never know what the weather's going to do, so it's always nice to have like lots of layers, especially light layers, because you could just take this off and chuck it in your bag. It would fold up really nice and small. So that's another sewing piece that I've got. I think that's all the bits that I had to show you today. As you can see, I've been quite busy behind the scenes doing lots of little projects and doing all my knitting and that kind of thing. I've got one last thing that I was going to just tell you about. I'm going to do a shop update on Sunday at 8 p.m. That's Greenwich Mean Time. And I'm going to do like a drawstring bag update. So I'll show you quickly. I've got, I'm going to be doing the drawstring bags. I've got the blue in the little tiny buds print. And I've got them in the grey as well. I'll do the grey buds. I've got the same again in the original print. I've got blue and grey for that as well. They're really super popular, these ones. that's why I thought I'd do a nice update. And I have one of the naturally dyed yellow bags, and I have one of my autumn bloom bags, and that's it. That's the last of that fabric that I've got for the autumn fabric. I'm going to have to do another print with this gold because everybody loves that. Can you see it? So pretty, isn't it? It's really hard work doing a print like that with the two colours, but it was so worth it because it's so beautiful, this finish. So I've got one of those left, and that's it. I'll have some of my little sock sacks like the ones I showed you. I've got one of those with the autumn prints, and I'll also have the big ones, my big sweater sacks, or you keep your blanket projects, like your scrappy blankets, those kind of things in there. So yeah, basically I'm doing a drawstring bag, so all the drawstring bags should be back up in the shop, and then the following week I'll do some of the tool rolls and my knitting needle cases. I'm going to get in the shop all filled back up, so it's got lots of nice stock in there over the summer. And I think that's it really. I don't think I've got anything else to say. So I will catch up with you over on Instagram, which is where I chat to most of you, or if you want to leave me comments below. I love it when people leave me comments here on YouTube. I feel like I'm building like another little community over here, so it's really nice when you stop and chat. And as I said before, if you want to get the show notes in your inbox, I'll have a link below so you can sign up to my show notes mailing list. And yeah, if you want to have a look at what's in the shop on Sunday, 8 PM, Greenwich Mean Time, the shop will be nice and full, and I'll ship those out to you on Monday. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll